Have you ever wondered how much your emotions control your life? How many times do we impulsively react to a stressful situation just to regret later? What if I told you that you can learn to own your mind, even when everything around you seems to crumble? Today we will explore an ancient philosophy, but surprisingly relevant to modern challenges, Stoicism. Seneca, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers in history, taught that true freedom does not come from abroad, but from within ourselves. He proposed that we can strengthen our mind and face any adversity with wisdom and calm. Whether anxiety, frustration, or even uncertainties about the future, Seneca offers practical solutions that still make sense today. In this video, I will present 6 powerful Seneca teachings that can transform the way you deal with the pressures of everyday life. These principles are not only interesting intellectually, they are concrete tools that you can apply immediately to improve your mental resilience, make more conscious decisions, and cultivate a deep sense of inner peace. The main benefit we seek here is simple but powerful: emotional freedom. This means that you will no longer be a slave to your emotions or the opinions of others. Instead, you will learn to navigate the ups and downs of life with grace and determination. This is not just a philosophical guide. It is an invitation to change your perspective and gain greater control over yourself. Ready to board this journey? Let's start with the first teaching. Accept what cannot be controlled. First teaching. Accept what cannot be controlled. One of the most fundamental principles of Stoicism is the idea that we should focus only on what we can control and fully accept what is beyond our reach. This concept, known as control dichotomy, is essential to reducing anxiety and increasing our inner peace. Seneca often emphasized that much of human suffering derives from the struggle against inevitable things, whether they are loss, change, or even time itself. Consider for a moment how many times you have become frustrated because something has not come out as planned. Perhaps it was a delay in work, an unexpected discussion, or even a situation outside its control, such as an economic or climate crisis. When we cling to what we can't change, we end up wasting precious mental energy in something that has no immediate solution. Stoicism proposes a different approach. Instead of resisting, learn to accept. One of Seneca's most famous quotes illustrates this clearly. It's not the things themselves that disturb us, but the opinions we have of them. This means that our emotions do not arise directly from external circumstances, but the way we interpret these situations. For example, losing a job may seem catastrophic at first glance, but if you change your perspective and see it as an opportunity for growth, your emotional reaction will be completely different. To apply this principle in real life, imagine a person facing an unexpected resignation. Instead of panicking or blaming yourself, she can use this moment to reflect on her skills, seek new opportunities, and even explore careers she has always dreamed of following. The key here is to recognize that while dismissal is out of your control, your emotional response and subsequent actions are totally under your jurisdiction. As a practical exercise, I suggest that you take a piece of paper and divide it into 2 columns, things I can control and things I can't control. List specific items of your current life in each category. At the end of the day, focus only on areas where you have decision-making power. This simple practice can transform your way of facing challenges and helping you cultivate a more serene and resilient mind. With this established basis, we will now explore another essential principle of Stoicism: to live fully in the present. Second teaching: live in the present. Now that we understand the importance of focusing on what we can control, the time has Come to dive into another central principle of Stoicism, to live fully in the present. We are often stuck in the past or concerned about the future, allowing these distractions to steal us the ability to enjoy the now. Seneca knew that well and often warned about the dangers of wasting the gift, the only real moment we have. One of Seneca's most powerful quotes on this topic says, "The biggest obstacle to our happiness is expectation." When we are constantly designing our minds to the future or brooding over the past, we lose contact with what really matters, the current moment. Stoicism teaches us that every moment is a unique opportunity to learn, grow, and experience life consciously. To illustrate this in practice, think of something as simple as having breakfast. How many times have you done this while you were distracted by your phone, thinking about the tasks of the day or even reflecting on old problems? By practicing the full presence, you can turn this routine activity into a time of genuine connection with yourself. Try observing the scent of coffee, feeling the heat of the cup in your hands, and really enjoying every sip. This attention to detail not only enriches your experience, but it also helps to reduce stress and increase your sense of gratitude. Another powerful example comes from someone facing a great challenge, such as a tight term at work. Instead of excessively worrying about the end result or revisiting past errors, this person can focus on what they are doing at the exact moment, divide the project into small steps and complete them one by one, without haste or anxiety, demonstrates how the focus on the present can improve both work quality and emotional well-being. If you want to integrate this idea into your daily life, I suggest a simple exercise, mindfulness practice for 5 minutes every day. Find a quiet place, close your eyes, and focus on your breath. If your mind begins to ramble, bring it back gently to the present. Over time, this practice will help you develop greater mental clarity and emotional balance. By cultivating the ability to live in the present, you become less vulnerable to distractions and more capable of enjoying the small joys of life. Now let's explore how gratitude can further amplify this internal transformation. Third teaching, practice gratitude. If there is something that can dramatically change our perspective on life, it is the practice of gratitude. Stoicism teaches us that happiness is not necessarily linked to external circumstances, but the way we perceive and value what we already have. Seneca expressed this wisely by saying, "He who learns to be grateful for small blessings will never be without them." By cultivating an attitude of gratitude, you begin to see the world with more positive and grateful eyes, even in the most challenging situations. Imagine a person facing financial difficulties. Instead of focusing only on what is missing, she decides to focus on what she still has: a ceiling about her head, food on the table, or even the support of friends and family. This change of perspective transforms suffering into opportunity to appreciate the simple things we often give guaranteed. Gratitude acts as a powerful antidote against negativity and frustration. But how to practice gratitude in everyday life? An effective technique is to maintain a gratitude diary. Book a few minutes every day to write down 3 things you are grateful. It can be as simple as a good breakfast, an inspiring conversation, or even the fact that you woke up alive and healthy. This exercise helps to train your mind to recognize the blessings present in your life, even in the most difficult situations. An interesting study by modern scientists has revealed that people who regularly practice gratitude report higher levels of emotional well-being and less prone to depression. This is because active gratitude areas of the brain responsible for the sense of pleasure and reward, creating a virtuous cycle of happiness. To illustrate the impact of this practice, consider the story of John, an executive who went through a turbulent period in his career. He started writing daily about positive moments of the day, even when there seemed to be nothing good happening. Gradually, he realized that his concerns decreased and his mood significantly improved. Today, John sees gratitude as an essential tool for dealing with any adversity. Adopting this assessment mindset not only improves its quality of life, but also positively influences its interpersonal relationships. When you demonstrate gratitude to others, create deeper connections and strengthen effective bonds. With this solid basis of gratitude, we are ready to explore another crucial aspect of Stoicism: challenge our limiting beliefs. Fourth teaching: challenge your limiting beliefs. Now that we have learned the importance of living in the present and practicing gratitude, the time has come to explore one of the most transformative aspects of Stoicism: to challenge our limiting beliefs. Seneca knew well that much of human suffering derives from erroneous ideas or generalizations we make about ourselves and the world around us. These beliefs often prevent us from achieving our maximum potential and create invisible barriers that seem impossible to overcome. One of Seneca's most impactful quotes on this theme is, "The most common error of mankind is to imagine that we think clearly." This reflects the natural tendency to assume absolute truths without questioning them. For example, how many times have you said something like, "I will never be able to learn it," or "this always goes wrong for me"? These phrases are not just momentary statements, they shape their reality by creating negative expectations that they call themselves. But how can we identify and change these harmful beliefs? The first step is simply to recognize them. Take a piece of paper and list 3 beliefs that often arise in your mind. They can be related to their professional capacity, their relationships, or even their self-esteem. Once identified, ask yourself, is this belief true? Is there concrete evidence that sustains it? For example, imagine a person who believes, "I'm terrible in public speaking." By examining this belief more closely, she may realize that this idea came up after a single bad experience, but does not necessarily reflect her current skill. With practice and preparation, anyone can improve their communication skills. The key is in replacing limiting beliefs with more realistic and constructive alternatives. An effective technique for challenging these ideas is to use the Socratic method. Ask questions that lead to critical reflection. Here are some suggestions. Was this belief always true? Is there any contrary evidence that I am ignoring? How would my life be different if I changed this belief? By applying this approach regularly, you begin to break negative mental cycles and make room for new possibilities. Remember, your beliefs need not define who you are. They are just stories that you tell yourself. Now that we are more aware of this, let's move on to the next teaching: emotions management. Fifth teaching: emotions management. Emotions are an inevitable part of human experience, but they can often dominate us, leading us to impulsive reactions or decisions that we later repent. Stoicism offers a powerful approach to managing our emotions, helping us to keep calm and self-control even in challenging situations. Seneca acknowledged that emotions should not be eliminated, but constructively understood and directed. One of Seneca's most striking quotes on this topic is, "Violent passions originate from ignorance." This means that our emotional reactions often arise from a lack of mental clarity or understanding of what really matters. Instead of being slaves to emotions, we can learn to observe them, analyze them, and decide how to answer. Consider a practical example. Imagine that you are driving and another driver cuts your way abruptly. The first reaction can be anger or frustration. However, by stopping for a moment and reflecting, you realize that this situation has no real impact on your life. It is just a passing incident. By adopting this perspective, you can prevent anger from taking over you by preserving your inner peace. To apply this idea in everyday life, a simple and effective technique is the break before reacting. Whenever you feel taken by a strong emotion, give yourself a few seconds to breathe deeply before you act. These moments of break allow you to evaluate the situation more clearly and choose a more appropriate answer. Another valuable tool is the practice of diaphragmatic breathing. Inspire slowly by the nose, keeping your breath for a few seconds, and exhaling gently helps calm the nervous system and reduce the intensity of emotions. This method can be used anywhere, during a stressful meeting at home or even waiting. In addition, Stoicism teaches that we must differentiate between natural emotions and those that result from distorted interpretations. For example, feeling afraid in a dangerous situation is normal. However, allowing this fear to panic for no reason is counterproductive. Training your mind to identify these emotional nuances is crucial to developing greater internal balance. By integrating these practices into your routine, you begin to notice a significant difference in the way you deal with adversity and social interactions. Over time, it will be able to face the challenges of life with more serenity and wisdom. Now that we have learned to manage our emotions, the time has come to explore the last principle of this video: to seek virtue. Sixth teaching: seek virtue. Stoicism is not just a philosophy to deal with the adversities of life. It also offers a clear guide on how to live well and ethically. In the heart of this view is the concept of virtue, which Seneca considered sufficient to achieve true happiness. For Stoics, virtue is not just a distant ideal, but a daily practice that shapes our actions, decisions, and relationships. Seneca often stated, "Virtue is enough for happiness." This idea may seem simple, but it carries a transformative depth. Virtue, in the Stoic context, refers to the set of moral qualities that make a good person: integrity, courage, compassion, moderation, and wisdom. By cultivating these virtues, you build a solid foundation to face any challenge with dignity and purpose. Imagine someone who decides to incorporate the virtue of integrity into his professional life. Instead of cutting shortcuts or acting dishonestly to achieve fast results, that person chooses to be transparent and responsible in their actions. Although this may demand more effort, initially, in the long run creates confidence, respect, and personal satisfaction. Another powerful example is compassion. By practicing empathy and helping others without expecting anything in return, you strengthen your interpersonal ties and contribute to a better world. This kind of virtuous behavior generates a deep sense of realization and connection with something greater than oneself. To integrate the search for virtue in your daily life, I suggest that you choose a specific quality to work during the week. It can be practicing patience in daily interactions, demonstrating gratitude to colleagues, or simply keeping their commitment to oneself. Consistent small changes can lead to significant transformations over time. By adopting this principle, you begin to see life as a constant opportunity to grow, learn, and become a better version of yourself. With this, we are ready to complete our journey through Seneca's teachings and reflect on how to apply them to our lives. Throughout this video, we have explored 6 powerful Seneca teachings that can strengthen your mind and turn your approach to the adversities of modern life. From accepting what we cannot control to virtue in our daily actions, each principle offers a practical tool to face challenges with greater clarity, balance, and purpose. Remembering briefly, we learn the importance of focusing only on what we can control and accept the rest. How to live fully in the present can reduce anxiety and increase our gratitude for life. The positive impact of gratitude for improving emotional well-being. How to challenge limiting beliefs can open new possibilities and expand our potential. Simple techniques for managing emotions and avoiding impulsive reactions. Finally, how to seek virtue can guide our actions and create deeper sense of purpose and happiness. These principles are not only interesting intellectually, they are practical tools that you can apply immediately to improve your quality of life. By gradually integrating them into your routine, you will begin to perceive significant changes in your mental resilience, decision-making, and interpersonal relationships. Remember, Stoicism is a journey, not a destination. It is not a matter of achieving perfection, but of cultivating continuous consciousness and growth. Every small step you go to these teachings will contribute to building a solid basis of emotional freedom and self-sufficiency. If you liked this video and want to continue your personal development journey, subscribe to the channel to access more content about practical philosophy and techniques to strengthen your mind. Leave your comment sharing which teaching has resonated with you or which practices have you started to implement. And don't forget to enjoy this video to support our work. Thanks for watching. Until next time, remember, you have the power to shape your mind and consequently your life. Strengthen it with wisdom and persistence.